After the car accident, the doctor insisted I had amnesia, but I remembered every single woman who came to visit me perfectly. He was a renowned neurologist, yet he remained convinced that I had forgotten something vital. This doctor sure knew how to make excuses for himself. I'd seen everyone I was supposed to see during my hospital stay. If there was truly someone important, how could they not have shown up by now? Yeah, I remember everyone I'm supposed to. What kind of amnesia is this? After my younger sister left, a woman in a sharp business suit suddenly appeared in my hospital room. Are you here to see if I'm dead? If not, don't bother me. Mr. Hayes, you're awake? And you are. You don't recognize me? I'm Linda, Ms. Sterling's assistant. Who is Ms. Sterling? Ethan, Ms. Sterling is very busy right now. Stop faking amnesia. Even if you threaten to hang yourself, it won't work. Faced with these bizarre words, I was completely lost. I had no idea what was going on, but her attitude made me extremely uncomfortable. Looking at her disgusted expression, I felt a strange sense of revulsion. Wait, what? What did you say? 6 years. It was definitely my face, but it looked more mature than I remembered, with a lingering trace of melancholy. Could it be? Was everything that woman, Linda, said true? Is it really 6 years later? Am I actually married? My memory is stuck at age 18, right when I started college. Back then, I had a crush on an upperclassman. I think her name was Chloe Sterling. Even though she was a year ahead of me, she was actually 2 years younger. And now I'm somehow married to her? According to Linda, I married Chloe when I was 22. It was a whirlwind marriage with no real emotional foundation. After we got married, I discovered Chloe's heart wasn't with me. She was very close to a guy named Jason Crawford. Feeling unloved, I started resorting to all sorts of bizarre tactics to get her attention, which only earned me her growing disgust. Finally, I resorted to threatening suicide to make Chloe stop seeing Jason. If you don't keep your distance from Jason, I'll kill myself right in front of you. If you're going to keep acting out, then just go ahead and die. It would save me the headache. Killing myself for love? That doesn't sound like something I would ever do. Back in the day, I despised simps more than anything. By the time I figured all this out, I was already in the master bedroom of our marital home. The doctor said I was fine, so Linda brought me straight home. Ethan, Miss Sterling is a very busy woman. Can you please stop harassing her with these petty tricks? Staring at the enormous mansion before me, I lost any desire to cause a scene. I was completely stunned by the overwhelming opulence. A single walk-in closet was several times larger than my old apartment. Even though I knew Chloe and I had been married for 5 years, for me, this was the first time I was seeing her face up close. I had to admit, there was a reason she was my high school goddess. Just having that face in front of me improved my mood significantly. Ethan, what are you up to now? Dude, I haven't said a single word since you got home. You used to follow me around the second I got home. Is this a new tactic? I was a little shocked. Was I really that clingy after marrying Chloe? I've been exhausted from work lately, and I don't have the energy to deal with your drama. Ethan, don't even think about doing anything to Jason. Threatening suicide won't work on me. Linda had already told me most of the story between Chloe and me. It was a simple, pathetic triangle. I loved Chloe, Chloe loved Jason, and I, the clown in this romance, could only make trouble for Jason, earning more of Chloe's hatred. This suicide attempt was because I was jealous of how well she took care of Jason, so I had been secretly attacking his company and smearing his clients. My mind was a mess. Having lost the last few years of my memory, I truly couldn't understand how I had become so insane. The 18-year-old me despised people who were obsessed with love, yet here I was, willing to die for a woman. What are you doing? Chloe, don't touch me. Be good. Don't throw a tantrum with me. I don't like it. She always spoke to me in that tone, and it was starting to make even the face I'd crushed on for years less attractive. Chloe, I'm your husband, right? Since I got back from the hospital, you haven't said a single word of concern, and now you're just aggressively blaming me. On what grounds? Because you brought all of this on yourself. Her grip was weak, but she happened to grab me right on my wound. I winced in pain but forced myself not to make a sound. I'll let it go this time. Don't you ever threaten me with suicide again. When I woke up the next morning, Chloe was already gone. I threw on some clothes and went downstairs, only to find her already at the dining table eating breakfast. Good morning, Mr. Hayes. You're awake? Come have some breakfast. Even though it was just breakfast, the spread was astonishingly lavish. Hey, what kind of guy eats this stuff first thing in the morning? Wait, is that durian? Mr. Crawford had it sent over specially. It's his favorite, air-freighted from Europe. Never mind, I'm not hungry. You guys go ahead. Ethan, that's enough. What? Does the fact that I don't eat durian bother you too? You're only refusing to eat it because Jason sent it, aren't you? When will you stop being so jealous? Me jealous of Jason? What was this? I didn't know what my 27-year-old self was like around Chloe, but regardless, we were husband and wife. Did she not even know I was allergic to durian? Ma'am, Mr. Crawford is here. Chloe, am I interrupting anything? One glance and I knew it was Jason. I was Chloe's husband, yet the butler called me Mr. Hayes, while calling him Mr. Crawford. Mr. Crawford, you've arrived. No wonder my 27-year-old self targeted Jason so much. She and I were legally married, yet I could never compete with her blatant favoritism for another man. Mr. Hayes, I heard you cut your wrist yesterday. Are you doing okay now? Humph. I don't need your concern. Chloe, maybe I should leave. It seems Mr. Hayes isn't very happy to see me. I don't know how my 27-year-old self acted in front of them, but the 18-year-old me wasn't in love with Chloe at all, so I had no reason to bite my tongue. You knew that and you still came? What an attention seeker. Ethan, can you stop being so unreasonable? She immediately came to Jason's defense, and my opinion of her dropped even further. Waking up married to my high school crush had been exciting at first, but now it seemed Chloe wasn't all that special. Chloe, I came today specifically to invite you to my celebration party. Ethan, you'll be there, won't you? I originally had no intention of going, but when I saw the hidden disdain and provocation in Jason's eyes, I suddenly changed my mind. Of course, after all, I'm Chloe's husband. I have to accompany her to these events. There they are. No wonder my 27-year-old self ended up like this. How could you not become twisted with people whispering behind your back every day? I must have really loved Chloe back then, to choose to give up my own life after so much daily torment. Isn't he embarrassed just standing there alone? Why would he be? As long as he can be with Chloe, he'd probably get on his knees if you asked him to. I'm not dead. Why would I kneel for her? All right, that's enough from everyone. I was being openly mocked, and not only did she not defend me, she just told everyone to stop. It seems I'm not welcome here, so I won't disturb you any longer. Goodbye. Did I just see that right? He actually dared to give Chloe an attitude. Did Jason really drive him crazy? The noisy chatter after that annoyed me, so I went out to the pool to clear my head. It wasn't long before Jason came out. Mr. Hayes, you've really surprised me. What is it you want to say? I despise you. Aren't you afraid I'll push you in right here? I'm more afraid you don't have the guts. Heh, after all, everyone knows Chloe would save me without a second thought. Obviously. Ethan, dare to make a bet with me? If you two are so in love, why don't you just have Chloe divorce me? Do you get some kind of sick pleasure from being the other man in someone's marriage? Isn't that because you refuse to let go? You're so desperate to cling to Chloe that you'd even resort to suicide. She only stays with you out of pity. Ethan, I'm asking you one last time. Do you dare to bet? No, I don't. You win. It was a well-known fact that I couldn't swim. I wasn't about to do something as stupid as attempting suicide a second time. Ethan, go for a swim. I felt nothing but the sensation of water overwhelming me from all directions. I struggled desperately to swim upwards, but just as my vision blurred, a familiar figure dove in from the edge of the pool and swam in the other direction. It was my wife, Chloe. When Jason and I both fell into the water, she swam swiftly towards him. A sharp pain shot through my heart. Perhaps it was the last lingering emotion of my 27-year-old self. Both Jason and I were pulled out of the water. He was saved by Chloe, while I was saved by a woman I didn't know. I had to admit, she was quite attractive, definitely my type. Ethan, are you okay? Chloe reached out to help me up, but I shoved her hand away. The area fell completely silent. I could even hear people deliberately slowing their breathing. A wealthy, beautiful woman like Chloe had probably never had a hand laid on her in her life. Chloe, let's get a divorce. I don't want anything. Consider that shove just now your severance payment to your ex-husband. Chloe stood there in silence for a long time before suddenly walking towards me. I already said that push was the severance pay. You're not going to be that petty, are you? Chloe didn't say a word, just grabbed my wrist tightly and tried to drag me away. In the chaos, a slender hand suddenly took hold of my other arm. Chloe, he almost drowned just now. Let's not hold it against him. The speaker was the woman who had just saved me, and she was soaked as well. She had a unique aura about her. She was the complete opposite of Chloe. Chloe was cold and intelligent, an ice queen, while this woman was wild and captivatingly charming. For a moment, I was completely mesmerized. Zoe, he's my husband. In what capacity are you advising me? Oh, is he? Funny. I just heard him say he wants a divorce. Besides, no matter how you look at it, I just saved your husband's life. Shouldn't you be thanking me? I'll give you full control of the Westchester project. Stay out of my business with Ethan. The Westchester project is a huge prize, and Chloe just gave it to Zoe like that? That's a multi-billion-dollar project. Even the Crawford family only got a small piece. Chloe gave her full control. After leaving the party, Chloe took me to a hotel room. She grabbed my wrist, wanting to give me a hot bath. Chloe, can you please get out? You're my husband. What's wrong with me looking? I was just about done soaking in the tub when Chloe suddenly walked in. I had no idea what she was planning and jumped in surprise. Ethan, thank God you're okay. Do you have any idea how scared I was? Ms. Sterling, please have some self-respect. The person who saved me was Zoe. What right did Chloe have to say something like that? I would never forget the sight of her back as she rushed towards Jason when we were both in the water. Even though I'd lost my memories of the past 5 years, my heart still felt a primal sting at that moment. I think that was my 27-year-old self's last struggle. She knew I couldn't swim, but she still chose to save Jason first. If it weren't for Zoe, I'd already be dead. After 2 back-to-back brushes with death, I no longer felt anything for the woman I once had a crush on. I was wrong. I promise. A situation like this will never happen again, okay? It doesn't matter anymore. After we're divorced, you can save whoever you want. It's none of my business. I know you're angry, but it's not what you think. And as for divorce, I don't agree. On what grounds? Chloe, I'm telling you, I am divorcing you, no matter what. Chloe seemed annoyed, but she knew I had every right to be angry, so she held back. When I walked into the bedroom, she relentlessly wrapped her arms around me again. Let's just get a good night's sleep, and we can talk about it tomorrow, okay? Chloe, let go. Don't make me get physical. I couldn't imagine how pathetic my 27-year-old self must have been for her to think she could just placate me after something like this. If you can't sleep, then let's do something else. Did I hurt you? The panic in her eyes at that moment almost made me believe she actually cared about me. But I quickly dismissed the illusion. How could a woman who didn't care if I lived or died possibly care about a minor injury? Where does it hurt? Tell me, quickly. Chloe suddenly stared, stunned, at my bandaged hand. She had assumed I was just faking an injury for sympathy, never imagining it was real. Ethan, you actually did it. Are you satisfied now? Who gave you permission to do this? Do you even care about me? You just watched me nearly drown. My words hit her like a needle, and I saw her dark eyes flinch. Don't move. I'll have a doctor come and look at you. Jason arrived with the doctor. Chloe, is Ethan okay? He's fine. You should go home and rest. You don't need to worry about things here. But I feel terrible. After all, it was because of me that Mr. Hayes almost drowned. Humph, you look decent on the outside, but you're quite the actor. It's a shame I wasn't recording you earlier. I wonder what Chloe would think if she heard what you said to me. Ethan, stop talking. Just rest here. I'll come see you tomorrow when I have time. Just go. And you'd better bring the divorce papers with you. If you don't draw them up, I'll have my lawyer do it. Her fortune must be staggering. If she drafts the agreement, it'll be cleaner, and she won't be able to accuse me of being after her money. Ethan, I am not divorcing you. Get that idea out of your head. I looked at my phone. I first tried my own birthday as the passcode, but it failed. After trying a few other common numbers, it still wouldn't unlock. Finally, I tried Chloe's birthday, and it opened instantly. I let out a helpless, bitter laugh. Then, I immediately changed the passcode to my own birthday. The next day, I didn't wait for her at all. I called Zoe directly. Hello, this is Ethan Hayes. Do you have time to get a drink with me? What can I do for you, Mr. Hayes? I wanted to thank you. You saved my life yesterday, after all. All right, where? Let's meet at the coffee shop nearby. I'm heading out now. Not bad, Mr. Hayes. You're as punctual as ever. Mainly, I wanted to thank you for saving my life yesterday. It's all good. Order whatever you like. I don't know, you just seem different than before. Really? How so? I didn't want people to know about my amnesia, especially since I had no idea what my relationship with this Zoe was. Judging from yesterday, we probably didn't know each other well. Maybe it's just because of the shock from yesterday. Ethan, what's really going on? We've known each other for years. You can tell me anything. Ethan, something is very wrong with you. Ever since you woke up in the hospital, you've been completely different. Is it because of Chloe? Even you can see that I'm different, but she can't. This marriage really doesn't need to continue. Ethan, are you really going to divorce Chloe? After what happened yesterday, don't you think a divorce is warranted? The old you was so obsessed with her. I never thought you'd actually mean it when you said divorce. When you married Chloe, you followed her everywhere. You couldn't stand any other man near her, let alone Jason. Was I really that crazy? Ms. Vance, don't just make things up about me. Not only were you extremely possessive, but you also had a severe inferiority complex. But then again, even though Chloe seemed to despise you, she never once considered leaving you. After you married her, you cut off all your old friends, especially the female ones. We were college classmates, we went through so much together. Even after I confessed to you and you rejected me, we were still friends. But you just cut off all contact. So you must know me pretty well, then? Hearing how much she knew about me, my eyes lit up. With my amnesia, I was struggling to understand my current situation. With her help, things might get a lot easier. I didn't want Chloe to find out about my memory loss. It would only complicate things. Time passed quickly, and though I never said it outright, Zoe seemed to know I was in trouble. She didn't press for details, just gave me a rundown of my life over the past couple of years. I couldn't help but feel a little emotional. My 27-year-old self was really capable of loving someone to that extent. Isn't that Ethan? Why is he with Zoe Vance? I recall telling you before that I don't like you getting too close to him. We're getting a divorce. What I do is none of your damn business. You saved my husband yesterday, and I've already thanked you with the Westchester project. There's no need for you to meet privately. I gripped the arm of the sofa, feeling like I had heard those exact words before. I suddenly looked up at her, my eyes bloodshot. I remembered. A clear image flashed in my mind. Chloe had said the same thing to someone else. Does it have anything to do with you? That day, he had gone out for a business dinner and came back late. When I asked where he'd been, he would brush me off with that same impatient tone. And now I was throwing those words right back at her. My meetings with Jason aren't what you think. Our families have known each other for generations, and some business dealings are unavoidable. But I've already been reducing my contact with him, believe it or not. All right, stop the devoted act. If you're feeling guilty about almost getting me killed yesterday and want to save this marriage, don't bother. If you've really had a change of heart, be generous when we sign the divorce papers. Giving me more money would be a lot more practical. After that day, Chloe and I parted on bad terms once again. I really couldn't understand why she didn't want to divorce me. She was clearly in love with Jason and disgusted by me. Wouldn't a divorce be exactly what she wanted? Ethan, what is the meaning of this? You just moved out without saying a word. What do you mean? What's the meaning? We're getting a divorce. We can't keep living together. Just get the papers drawn up as soon as possible. I had just finished unpacking at my new place when there was a knock on the door. Thinking it was a delivery, I hurried to open it, only to find Chloe standing there, suppressing her rage. What are you doing here? Wait, how did you know I lived here? Chloe strode right in, took one look at the rental's decor, and her anger flared. Ethan, you'd rather live in a dump like this than stop fighting with me and move back home? Chloe, do I look like I'm throwing a tantrum? I genuinely want a divorce. Isn't that what you've always wanted? When did I ever say I wanted to divorce you? Chloe looked at me as if I were being completely irrational. Honey, please stop being difficult, okay? Come back with me. I promise nothing like that will ever happen again. No thanks, just have the divorce papers ready. Honey, do you really have to push it this far? I told you I'm serious. I'm not playing games with you. Are you really going to sleep alone in this dark, damp place? You can't sleep by yourself without me. Ever since I woke up with amnesia, I'd thought of Chloe and me as a miserable, resentful couple. But from her tone now, you'd think we were a loving couple that just bickered a lot. Chloe, I've made up my mind. I'm divorcing you. I can't live like this for another day. After kicking Chloe out, I started setting up my new home. I had gotten a handle on things at the company, but it was still a struggle to keep up, so I needed to spend a lot of time catching up. When I got home from work that evening, I opened Facebook and saw a photo Jason had posted. It was a picture of him and Chloe, captioned with a suggestive line, "If we hadn't just missed each other, would I be the man by your side now?" I scoffed. Wasn't he just implying that Chloe's marriage to me was loveless and that she'd eventually divorce me to be with him? I liked the post, commented perfect for each other, then immediately unfriended him. I also found Chloe's number and blocked her on everything. You blocked me? Sorry, I shouldn't have blocked you outright. I forgot we're not divorced yet. Are you here with the divorce papers? Perfect. I'll just take the day off, and we can go get it finalized after signing. Ethan, unblock me right now. No, honey, I'm sorry, okay? Please just add me back. I don't even know your number. You don't remember my number? Humph. Yeah, so what? How could you forget my number? You used to know it by heart. Crap, she found out. I just forgot, okay? We're getting a divorce. Am I not allowed to forget your number? Ethan, what is wrong with you? Ever since you woke up from your suicide attempt, you've been like a different person. Isn't that normal? People change after going through something that traumatic. Did you really expect me to go back to following you around like a puppy? Chloe looked at me, a threatening glint in her eyes, completely ignoring my dismissive words. She silently snatched my phone and tried to unlock it with a practiced motion, only to find the passcode was wrong. You changed the passcode? Yeah, what about it? Your old passcode was my birthday. Chloe, give me back my phone. I have to get to work. Take the day off? If you wanted, I could buy the whole company for you. Chloe tried a few more passcodes. Our anniversary, wrong. She pursed her lips, then tried my birthday, and it finally unlocked. Chloe gave me a dark look, said nothing, and changed the passcode to our wedding anniversary. I snatched the phone back and tried to unlock it, but it wouldn't open. Chloe, what gives you the right to change my passcode? The passcode is our anniversary. You can change it back. I froze at her words. Our anniversary. I had amnesia. My only connection to her was a crush from years ago. Now that I knew her true, awful nature, her pretty face, hot body, and immense wealth meant nothing to me. I had absolutely no desire to learn trivial details like that. You have amnesia, don't you? You just don't remember. It's not that you don't love me. Once your memory comes back, you'll never want to divorce me. Her words repulsed me. I was also terrified that if I did remember, I would revert to being that pathetic 27-year-old Ethan. That version of me was just too tragic. I would rather never remember. Ethan, when did you get here? Wait, how do you have a key to my apartment? I contacted the landlord and rented the place next door. Give me the key. I'm moving out tomorrow. How much have you forgotten? I haven't forgotten anything. Who said I did? I'm divorcing you because I don't love you. How many times do I have to say it? Before I could finish, Chloe wrapped her arms around me from behind. Don't say things like that. You have amnesia, so I won't hold it against you. When you remember, we'll settle this. Chloe, will you ever stop? You don't love me. You treat me horribly, so why should I stay with you? So what if I have amnesia? I've wanted to leave you for a long time. We're just fighting. Ethan, I've already explained it to you, that time was an accident. It's not what you think with Jason. The Sterling and Crawford families have been close for generations, and we were technically engaged as children, but I've never had romantic feelings for him. After I married you, my grandfather felt he owed Jason's family, so he asked me to look out for him. Other than that, there's nothing between us. Who would believe that? You valued his life more than mine. It seems you're still upset about that incident. I didn't know you had amnesia at the time. I should have explained it to you immediately. I had no desire to hear her excuses, but Chloe wouldn't let me leave. That day, I heard someone fell in the water, and my first instinct was to check if you were okay. They said it was Jason, so I saved him. I had no idea you had fallen in too. With just a few simple sentences, she completely absolved herself of any responsibility. Seeing my utter disbelief, Chloe fell silent for a long time. You don't believe me? Why should I believe you? Everyone saw it. You dove in without a second's hesitation. You went to save him, it had nothing to do with me. And after Zoe pulled me out, you were so cold to me. Chloe, do I look that stupid? If you really care about me, then let me go. I can agree to anything but a divorce. Once you get your memory back, we can talk about it then. There's no use, Chloe. If fate made me forget, it means I'm not supposed to remember. I'm resistant to the idea of remembering. I don't want to go back to being my 27-year-old self. Chloe was at a loss and could only try to placate me for the time being. After a few days of living my new, normal life, Jason sought me out. Ethan, we need to talk. Not wanting to make a scene, I took him to the coffee shop next to my office. Jason looked haggard and worn out, with deep, dark circles under his eyes. If you have something to say it quickly. You must be pretty pleased with yourself, huh? Chloe, she unilaterally terminated all contracts with my family. Now everyone in our circle knows the Crawfords have lost their backing. What does that have to do with me? Chloe said she won't help me anymore. You said something to her, didn't you? I thought you came here to sincerely apologize, but it seems you're only looking out for yourself. We have nothing to talk about. I turned to leave, but I heard Jason shout behind me. Why does a nobody like you get to be her husband? How did you get to marry her? What do I lack that you have? I stopped in my tracks. I felt like I'd heard those words before. Shortly after Chloe and I got married, her friends used to mock me. Back then, Jason had been friendly, even seemingly understanding, offering me a lot of advice. But his advice always ended up embarrassing me in front of everyone. I started to become insecure, timid, and paranoid. The images flashed through my mind, one after another. I was certain these were my memories. Ethan, I can apologize to you, but you have to tell Chloe. I have zero interest in your business with Chloe. Do me a favor and tell her I don't want to see either of you ever again. How do we always run into each other in situations like this? Right, Chloe? That's my husband. Please stay away from him. I wasn't doing anything to him. Look at you, so tense. Jason, why are you always causing trouble for Ethan behind my back? He's the one causing trouble for me. Jason's face was cold and hard, only softening slightly when he saw Chloe. Chloe, no matter what, we grew up together. We were childhood friends. What happened before was just a misunderstanding. Can't you just let it go? I've done what I was supposed to do. I don't owe you anything. I only looked out for you before out of respect for your grandfather, but that doesn't mean you can be greedy. Me? Greedy? Jason wanted to argue but couldn't find the words. He just clenched his fists, shot me a hateful glare, and stormed off. After he left, I finally understood why he had been so desperate to find me today. It turned out Chloe had publicly revealed what happened at the pool, making Jason the laughingstock of their social circle. Thinking about this, those fragmented memories flashed before my eyes again, and my head started to throb. Are you not feeling well? I can take you to the hospital. I'm not going. Just keep your boy Jason in check so he doesn't bother me anymore. You don't need to worry about anything else. Don't worry, I won't give him another chance. I won't make that mistake again. You can choose not to make the same mistake, but not all mistakes can be forgiven. I already gave you the Westchester project. Don't push your luck. I saved him. I'm his savior. He's never been able to swim. If I hadn't acted that day, you wouldn't have a husband. Is this how you talk to the person who saved his life? Hearing this, Chloe's eyes sharpened, a cold light flashing within them. How did you know he can't swim? Since you two are getting a divorce, I won't hide it anymore. The truth is, Ethan and I have known each other for a long time. I even confessed my feelings to him, but he fell for you instead. Ethan, if you feel like you made a blind mistake, I can give you another chance. In the next second, Chloe lunged forward, and the two women started fighting fiercely. I had never seen the ever-composed Chloe have such an emotional outburst. I'd also never seen two women fight before, so I just let them go at it. I didn't try to break it up, I just turned around and went back to the office. I just didn't expect Chloe to be faster than me. By the time I got downstairs, she was already standing there. She had a small bruise on the corner of her lip, and her eyes lit up when she saw me. "Don't worry, I'm not really hurt." "Who said I was worried? Don't flatter yourself. I'll pick you up after work." I said I want a divorce. "Which part of that don't you understand? You have amnesia right now, so you don't remember your feelings for me. It'll be fine once you remember." "Why would I want to remember? Just because you and Jason are supposedly innocent? Or do you think that if I remember, I'll go back to being that pathetic, groveling person I was before?" I never thought that. Looking at her, I suddenly felt a wave of exhaustion. "Chloe, I always had hopes for marriage. I thought I would marry a kind wife, but I never imagined my future wife would be someone like this. So what if you and Jason are innocent? You completely failed to fulfill your responsibilities as a wife. I see no reason to continue this marriage. Let's get a divorce." I said a lot to Chloe, all of it from the heart. In that moment, I thought I saw a light shatter in her eyes. I turned and walked away without looking back. After that day, I refused to hear any news about Chloe. The people in that circle were always sucking up to the powerful and stepping on the weak. After they found out what happened, they started trying to get information from me. Some tried to curry favor with me, but I ignored them all, focusing on my own work and waiting for the day Chloe would finally agree to a divorce. At the end of the workday, I stretched, thinking about asking Zoe out for a proper thank you dinner. But just as I was about to walk out the main entrance, I saw a black luxury car parked there. My colleagues were whispering and giving me knowing looks. I cursed under my breath and walked straight ahead, ignoring them. Chloe immediately got out and walked towards me. "Ethan, you're here. Are you here to give me the divorce papers?" Chloe didn't answer, deliberately changing the subject. She produced a car key from somewhere. "Do you like it? It's the latest Hummer." "No." Even though I said that, my heart skipped a beat when I saw the key. Chloe pulled me into the car, and we drove until it was dark. By the time I realized what was happening, I was already seated in a restaurant. "Just have one meal with me. If I have this meal with you, will you agree to a divorce?" Chloe was silent for a long time before she spoke. "If you don't have this meal with me, I will never divorce you." "You said it, not me." The dinner was incredibly lavish, clearly planned with care. There was wine, candles, and all sorts of floral arrangements, very romantic. I ate quickly, without a hint of sentimentality. "I'm full. I'm leaving." "Ethan, did you forget what day it is?" "What day?" "It's our wedding anniversary." I had no memory of it. I searched my mind but couldn't recall how we had ever celebrated it before. "That's fine. We can just consider this our last supper." I understood that she was trying to win me back, but I truly didn't think there was anything left in our marriage to save. I mumbled an apology and headed to the restroom. Staring at my reflection, I told myself not to turn back. After composing myself, I turned to leave, only to see Chloe walking towards me. "Honey, please just remember, okay?" "Chloe, let go of me." She was so persistent only because I had amnesia. She believed that once I remembered, I wouldn't be able to leave her. "It's useless. I know myself. Even if I only stopped loving you because of the amnesia, I can feel that even if I remembered everything right now, I would still divorce you. You love me very much. We were so in love. You've just forgotten." "Ethan, are you okay?" "I'm fine. Don't touch me." "Ethan." A sharp pain shot through the back of my head, and images started flashing before my eyes. The kiss at our wedding, the drink Jason handed me, my father-in-law shattering a teacup, the mocking stares, the fragments came faster and faster, growing clearer until they formed a complete memory. I remembered our first time, how we got together, how we got married, how we fought over Jason. I also remembered how they had all made a fool of me, embarrassing me in front of my own in-laws. All the pain was laid bare before me. As I remembered it all, my heart ached until it was numb. No wonder I wanted to forget. No wonder I couldn't remember anything. The memories were just that painful. "What's wrong, Ethan?" "Chloe, you make me sick." I looked her in the eyes, clutched my chest, and collapsed to the floor, unconscious. When I woke up again, I was in the hospital with the same familiar doctor. He was checking my pupils while she sat by the bed, her hands clenched tightly. The moment she saw I was awake, she called the doctor over. "He's awake. How are you feeling?" "He's mostly fine, just a case of extreme emotional distress. He had a small blood clot in his brain before, but the impact dispersed it. He just needs to rest." "When did he hit his head? Why didn't you tell me?" "It's no use, Chloe. Let's get a divorce." "I told you you don't remember right now." I remember. I remember everything, and I still want a divorce." Chloe's eyes trembled violently, as if in disbelief. I had never seen such a sorrowful look on her face, but I knew my decision was the right one. "I'm so tired. Being with you is too painful. Chloe, let's get a divorce." I had said the word divorce countless times. Chloe always had a strong reaction, but never before had she looked so utterly devastated. "Chloe, let's just part amicably." After leaving the hospital, I didn't see Chloe for a long time. I had made myself perfectly clear, so she must have finally understood. My life gradually returned to normal, and things at work got back on track. There was just one thing that bothered me. After Zoe found out my memory had returned, she started contacting me frequently. So you really did have amnesia. I was a little suspicious before, but I guess it was true. After you're divorced, want to give it a try with me? Hold on, I'm not divorced yet. The papers aren't even signed. This is kind of like poaching, you know? I said that not because I couldn't let go of Chloe, but because I didn't want to jump into another relationship so quickly. Besides, while Zoe had never been the other woman, she had gotten involved before things between Chloe and me were resolved. I was grateful to her for saving my life, but that was all. I was just trying my luck. Ethan, I got over you a long time ago. I just saw how unhappy you were and felt bad for you. Thank you. I gave her a hug, and then I saw Chloe walking towards us in the distance. I felt a surge of annoyance and was about to leave when Chloe suddenly rushed to the side and started dry heaving. Ugh, did Chloe get sick just from seeing us hug? No, it's not that. I just feel a little unwell. You don't think, could she be pregnant? My head throbbed. I suddenly remembered that the reason I hadn't wanted a child was because Chloe had told me she didn't want one. You really think, even if she is, she wouldn't keep it? Other than finalizing the divorce, I don't want to see you anywhere. The cars, the mansion, the company shares, you can have anything I own. We can fight all you want, but I don't want a divorce. Get in the car. I didn't want to be a spectacle on the street, so I grabbed her arm and pulled her into the car. Chloe, you really don't have to do this. We're not right for each other. We both made mistakes to get to this point. I know I'm not the most charming person. Even I don't like myself sometimes. I never disliked you. I did get impatient, but I never once thought about divorcing you. I thought we would spend our whole lives together, even if we fought all the time. But I don't want to live that life anymore. Jason was just a catalyst. We're from different worlds. I can't trust you, and you can't unconditionally accommodate me. Chloe, stop being so stubborn. I stood downstairs, watching her walk away, and sighed. It was my day off, so I went to the hospital for a brain scan. As I was heading home with the results, I ran into a man I hadn't seen in a long time. Ethan, what's that in your hand? What's it to you? I was on guard because Jason looked completely unhinged. Do you know? Chloe is pregnant with your child. Why? I'm the one who has everything. Chloe and I are the childhood sweethearts. Why does a latecomer like you get to have everything with her? Why? Why? If you have a problem, take it up with Chloe. It has nothing to do with me. I took a step back, not wanting to get into it with him. Ha ha ha. Chloe should handle this? Are you mocking me? Did you know she cut all ties with the Crawford family, making me a laughingstock? You're the one who told her everything, right? You told her I was deliberately making things difficult for you, that I instigated everything and pushed you in the pool. You did all those things. Are you afraid of people finding out? I knew it was you. No, Chloe. I heard a desperate cry, but the pain I was expecting never came. When I opened my eyes, I saw Chloe collapsed in front of me. Blood was flowing from her abdomen, and her face was pale. She only closed her eyes after seeing that I was unharmed. Chloe, don't cry. I'm fine. Stop talking. I won't let anything happen to you. Do you hear me? If I'm not so lucky this time, you should start a new life. A widower doesn't need a divorce. At least we'd still be husband and wife. Don't say such stupid things. Wait for me. Sir, please wait outside. Chloe. It was the first time I had ever felt such panic. I was terrified something would really happen to her. All the feelings I thought were gone came rushing back, and I realized my love for her hadn't disappeared. It had just been suppressed. I didn't want to be hurt again, so I had tried to forget her. The light above the operating room stayed on. I sat on a chair in the hallway, waiting, oblivious to everything around me, until Chloe's mother arrived. How is Chloe doing? I'm so sorry, ma'am. We don't know the details yet. She's in surgery. Mrs. Sterling's eyes rolled back, and she nearly fainted. You wait here. I thought she would blame me, but she said nothing. After composing herself, she just glanced at me and told me to wait. I didn't know what she meant, but I did as I was told. A few moments later, I saw her dragging Jason by the hair, throwing him in my direction. He did this, didn't he? Yes. You bastard. If anything happens to my daughter, I'll destroy you. Mrs. Sterling, this is all Ethan's fault. If it weren't for him, Chloe wouldn't have gotten hurt. You think that will make me let you go? Ethan is my son-in-law. You hurt him, and I won't let you off the hook either. I always thought she disliked me. I never expected her to say something like that. Why? Mrs. Sterling, you used to like me so much. That was when I was blind. I know everything you've done. We let it slide out of respect for your grandfather, but I never thought you'd stoop this low. If anything happens to Chloe, you will never know a moment of peace for the rest of your life. That's right. If Chloe doesn't make it, the entire Crawford family will pay. I didn't want to hear a word they were saying. I just stared at the operating room doors, praying that Chloe would be okay. The light went off, and my eyes widened. Please be quiet. The surgery is over. Okay. When the doctor came out, Both her mother and I rushed forward to ask about Chloe's condition. The wound has been stitched up. As for what happens next, it will depend on her own will to live. Chloe was moved to a VIP room for observation, and Mrs. Sterling and I went in together. Her eyes were red, all the ferocity she'd shown Jason gone. In the end, she was just a mother worried about her daughter. I'm so sorry, ma'am. It would be a lie to say I don't blame you at all, but I know this was Jason's fault. Don't worry, ma'am. No matter what, I will take good care of Chloe. I know about you two wanting a divorce. I didn't like you before, but I never went out of my way to make things hard for you. Ethan, confidence comes from within. If you don't even respect yourself, how can you expect others to think you're worthy of Chloe? Mr. and Mrs. Sterling only had one daughter, and for the most part, they respected her decisions. Mrs. Sterling had never spoken to me so candidly before. I've taken care of everything. Now we just have to wait for Chloe to wake up. You've been here all night. You must be exhausted. Go home and get some rest. It's okay. I'm young. You should go home first. Ethan, when I woke up again, I was lying in a hospital bed next to Chloe's. Mrs. Sterling was happy to see me awake. How are you feeling? Are you uncomfortable anywhere? Much better. How long was I asleep? Not long. The doctor said you were suffering from exhaustion and needed to rest. Is there anything else? Chloe's pregnant. Did you know? I hadn't wanted them to know. If they knew Chloe was carrying my child, they would definitely make her keep it. They needed an heir, and after our divorce, they would surely fight me for custody. With their wealth and power, I wouldn't stand a chance. I don't want to meddle in your affairs with Chloe, but this child, the doctor said as long as the mother is safe, the baby will be fine. When Chloe wakes up, she will definitely keep this child. We hope he or she can grow up in a stable family. Ma'am, let's talk about this later. The most important thing right now is whether Chloe will wake up. Ethan, Chloe wronged you, but she truly loves you. She just doesn't know how to express her feelings. Before she left, she patted my shoulder and said, "Don't worry. No matter what, the Sterling family will protect you." That's what Chloe would want most. After Mrs. Sterling left, it was just Chloe and me in the room. I looked at her closed eyes with a pang of heartache, but then I thought about the baby and felt a surge of anger. Chloe, I remember you saying you didn't want this child. If you wake up and really give it up, then I hope you never wake up at all. Weren't you trying to atone? To make things right? Are you just being lazy by lying here like this? I knew she couldn't hear me, but what her mother said had a huge impact on me, and I needed an outlet. Chloe, since you don't like kids, after you wake up and have the baby, I'll raise it myself. The child will still call you Mom. You're the biological mother, and even if we divorce, we can be civil. But I'm not going to be alone forever. It might not be long before your child is calling someone else Mom. I said it deliberately to provoke her. I wouldn't remarry. I might date, but I would never walk down the aisle again. What do you think of Zoe? She's liked me for so many years, and she saved my life. She might make a great stepmother. Before I could finish, Chloe's finger suddenly twitched, but only for a second. Chloe, I'm not kidding. If you don't wake up soon, I'm going to go find her. Chloe's eyelid fluttered. This time I saw it clearly. It wasn't my imagination. Doctor, let me see. Her heartbeat is strong. Breathing is stable. Her consciousness is returning. She should wake up soon. In the middle of the night, sleepiness overcame me, and I dozed off by the bed, holding her hand. The hospital was cold at night. I was about to wake up to find a blanket when I suddenly felt a warmth on my shoulder. Startled, I opened my eyes and saw Chloe covering me with a blanket. You're awake. Chloe, you're awake. I'll go get the doctor. Wait, thank God. Don't you dare let my child call another woman Mom. You hear me? Her voice was muffled, but it was the first thing she said after waking up. I pushed her away, both annoyed and amused. I think we should have the doctor check your head first. After Chloe recovered, she took me to a therapist for a comprehensive session, wanting to get to the root of our problems. But when she learned the reason, the look of extreme regret on her face is still fresh in my memory. Stubborn. Those were just things I said when I was angry. How could I ever not want our child? At the time, you said that if I got pregnant, I could ignore Jason. Even when we fought, I just thought you were being jealous and that I could placate you. I knew I was wrong, but I always felt I had my reasons and just wanted you to understand me, without ever considering your feelings. Chloe seemed terrified by the memory. She slowly wrapped her arms around me from behind. When you said that, I thought you were using the child as a tool to gain power, so I got angry and said those things, but I never meant them. I understood what she meant. I had said many hurtful things too, but that time, she had truly broken my heart. Honey, can you give me one more chance? I can't live without you, and I can't live without this child. Just watch how I act from now on, okay? If things are still the same in the future, and you want to leave, I won't have any complaints. We were so in love once. I can't accept it ending like this. Wasn't I worried too? But I was too afraid to try again. Everything she said was right. There were huge misunderstandings between us, but no matter how many there were, the pain I had suffered was real. I was hurt too, honey. We were like two hedgehogs, but I'm willing to retract my spines. Can we please not separate? My mind was a mess, and I didn't give her an answer right away. Chloe wasn't pushy. She showed her care and consideration in moderation, without being overly submissive. She had just recovered, and I told her to focus on the pregnancy instead of me. But while she agreed, she continued to attend to every detail of my life. I thought she was just being stubborn, wanting to give our child a complete family. But I later discovered that I wasn't the only one who had been keeping score in our marriage. She had been too. After we got married, I was constantly insecure, which led me to do many things that annoyed her. This time, I couldn't help but speak my mind. Chloe, the power dynamic between us is too unbalanced. We only got together because we were drunk, and I never managed to adjust my mindset. So when I asked for a divorce, it wasn't just because of you. I had my own issues too. Ethan, I never once thought about looking at another man. I've liked you for a very long time. I just never found the right opportunity. You thought that night was an accident, but have you ever considered that, even if I was drunk, I would never let someone I disliked stay by my side? What do you mean? You weren't drunk that night. I had always felt guilty about that. She had been so drunk that night, she barely seemed conscious. I was only tipsy that night. My mind was perfectly clear. If anything, I was the one who took advantage of the situation. When she said that, the shadow that had been looming over my heart instantly vanished. Chloe, if you were sober, why didn't you say so sooner? I always thought I was the one who took advantage of you. Honey, I was only in my early 20s then. I was scared of rejection, so I could only test the waters that way. But I wouldn't do that now. If you had told me sooner, my inferiority complex wouldn't have taken over, and I wouldn't have done all those stupid things. Yeah, I was stupid too. I clearly liked you, but I always acted like I didn't care, just because I liked seeing you dote on me. I knew you didn't like Jason, but I still thought you were overreacting. I made so many mistakes. If it weren't for your amnesia, I never would have realized how foolish I was. We talked for a long time that day, getting everything from the past out in the open. 6 months flew by. Her belly was round, and I hugged her from behind. She suddenly tilted her head up and kissed me. I didn't speak, just savored the moment. After a while, she pulled away. My face felt warm as I heard her whisper huskily in my ear, "Honey, let's not get a divorce, okay?" I suddenly burst out laughing. I thought with how passionate she was being, she would ask for something more fitting for the mood, but all she wanted was not to divorce me. Seeing me laugh, Chloe looked a little annoyed but didn't dare say anything, just tickled me lightly. "Don't laugh. Answer my question first." Okay, you don't have to answer. This is good enough for now." Even though we had cleared up our misunderstandings, starting over wasn't easy, especially for a couple like us who had been through so much. While we hadn't crossed any ultimate lines, the scars were still there. Rebuilding trust would take a very long time. But for the sake of the baby, I was more lenient with Chloe. The pregnancy was really hard on her, and though she was always strong, I couldn't help but feel for her. The baby was born soon and time flew by. I had prepared myself. If Chloe was a good mother, I would be relieved. But if she didn't meet my expectations, I was ready to leave her decisively. As it turned out, Chloe never once disappointed me. One day, after putting the baby to sleep, she turned to go back to the bedroom and saw me leaning against the doorframe, smiling at her. "What is it?" "Nothing. It's just, I feel like I haven't seen your cold, icy side in a long time. That's all in the past. Can we not bring it up again?" "Why not? I kind of like the old, cold you. The way you change a diaper with a frosty expression." Chloe knew I was teasing her and chased me into the bedroom with a stern look. As she playfully tackled me onto the bed, I heard her ask, "Honey, is my probation period over?" "The probation period is over, but now there's a retention period." "How long is the retention period?" "Don't worry. Seeing as your performance has been excellent, let's make it a lifetime."